Is this upcoming year finally the year that Patrick Williams breaks out for the Chicago Bulls? Let's talk about that. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA to talk about the Chicago Bulls, and here to talk about if this is the year for PWill to finally break out and show the NBA world that he was worth taking for the Chicago Bulls with the number 4 overall pick. And let me start by saying this, all right? Thus far, based off of where Patrick Williams was drafted, it is very fair to say, and I don't want to hear a lot of disputes about this, it is very fair to say that he has not lived up to the hype. I am not saying Patrick Williams is a bust. I am not saying that Patrick Williams is going to be a bust or his career is pretty much done and this is who he is. But what I'm telling you is, so far, based off of how long he has played and his contemporaries and what they have shown and where he was drafted, it has not equaled out in his production. Tyrese Halliburton, same draft. He's an all-star, just got a $260 million extension. Tyrese Maxey, same draft. He is considered one of the better young talents, averaged 20 points per game on a team with Joel Embiid and James Harden. And by the way, the Sixers don't even want to trade him for Dame Lillard. That's how much they value him. So my point is that PWill, even though I know a lot of Bulls fans love him, has just not shown enough yet. So now let's talk about if this next season could be different. Well, last season, let's just do that. Patrick Williams played 82 games, which you love to see. So golf clap there for Patrick Williams, because availability is very important in today's load management NBA. And your best ability sometimes is your availability. So shout out Lonzo Ball. In all seriousness, hope Lonzo makes full recovery, but you get my point here. 82 games for PWill, started 65. Okay? 10.2 points per game and 4 rebounds a game. Shot 46% from the field and 41% from 3, and pretty much averaged about a block and a steal. Okay? And that was done in about 28 minutes of playing time. So the main complaint with Patrick Williams thus far in his career has been kind of two things. Number one is something that he can control, and number two is something that he really can't control. One, what he can't control is aggression or lack thereof. Patrick Williams has not been aggressive. Now, you don't need to be an aggressive player necessarily all the time to be a good player, right? Kawhi Leonard's a very quiet guy, and he's not talkative. Neither was Tim Duncan. But your game can be aggressive, right? Your game can be aggressive. You can still try to be demanding on the floor. Patrick Williams never feels like or looks like he wants it. Never demands to get his shots. Never acts like he wants the ball. It's always within kind of a nonchalant flow of the offense, and if he's open, he'll take it, but that's about it. And he never stands out. He always fades in the background. So his lack of aggression has been one of his biggest issues. And number two, what he can't control is the role that he has and also the playing time. The role part is important because this is the biggest complaint Bulls fans say, which is how can you expect PWill to develop when he's got 2 chuckers on the team and DeMar and Zach who take all the shots, and of course also you got Vooch there who's the 3rd option. So you're talking about a 4th option on a team. How do you expect that guy to develop? True, good point, right? DeMar takes most shots, so does Zach, and when you've got those 2 guys chucking up majority of the shots, and then you've got Vooch taking his share, how much is left for PWill, right? So I hear that. But scoring doesn't have to be the only thing where you feel like, okay, that's how you know if somebody's good, right? There's so many players that contribute in different ways, and it could be defense, it could be passing, it could be rebounding. It doesn't have to be scoring. But you do have to be able to be impactful. And I just don't know if PWill has been impactful enough thus far in his career. He's got the potential to be a very, very good 3-and-D player. Okay? So, if we're talking about this next season, could he break out this upcoming season? He could, but it would require both of those two things to change. Patrick Williams has to get aggressive 1,000%. If he does not, he is not going to break out. I'm sorry. I don't care if, Billy Donovan and DeMar and Zach, all of these guys give him the shots. But if he's not taking them, it doesn't matter. All right. So the aggression has to be there. But number two, the coaching staff, in particular Billy Donovan, the head coach, has to instill that confidence in PWill as well. All right. And let me tell you guys a fun story here. I was listening to the Hoop Collective podcast, which has Tim McMahon, Brian Windhorst, and Tim Bontemps. And Tim McMahon was talking about Harrison Barnes in free agency. And Harrison Barnes just re-upped with the Sacramento Kings. And it's kind of a similar player here, if you will, and with Patrick Williams, right? Like a 3-and-D guy, if you will. But Tim McMahon was basically saying this. He said the Kings just re-signed Harrison Barnes. But back when he was on the Mavericks, the Mavs loved him. So much so that one of the Mavs special advisors at the time in their front office needed to have Harrison Barnes get traded from the team because the head coach, Rick Carlisle, at the time was drawing up plays for Harrison Barnes over Luka Doncic. Like he was giving the ball to Harrison Barnes more because he liked him so much over Luka Doncic. And so they basically had to get rid of Harrison Barnes because the head coach couldn't help himself. He liked him that much. The reason I bring that up is because if Billy just instills some confidence in Harrison Barnes, in Patrick Williams, and threw him a bone here and there, draw up some plays for him, it doesn't have to be the entire game, but just draw up a few plays for him, it would do so much and go so long and far in making his confidence get high. Billy Donovan needs to do that. And I don't know if that's just Billy. I don't know if that is AK and Emmy telling Billy that. Whatever the case is, front office, coaching staff, you have to go ahead and give some confidence to Patrick Williams by drawing up plays for him. Get this kid the ball. Let's see what he can do. We've seen the flashes in Summer League. We've seen the flashes when he gets the opportunities. So that needs to change. All right? That happens. His aggression, improves, and he for sure can break out. Now, what does a breakout season look like for Patrick Williams? I'm going to go ahead and say, look, he averaged 10 points and 4 rebounds last year. Within the confines of this team and this offense, you've got 2 high-volume scorers and a third option who's also a 18 to 20-point guy in Vooch. I think it's realistic to expect somewhere between 13 to 15 points per game for PWill and about 6 to 8 rebounds. Now, I know that's not super aggressive, but maybe you can take it up a little bit more of a notch and say maybe 13 to 16 to 17 points, somewhere in that range. Basically, if PWill improved and was averaging like 15 points and 7 rebounds a game and kept his percentages, the 41% from 3, which is great, and let's say maybe even 47, 48% from the field with a block and a steal a game, oh yeah, I'm good with that. Now, the minutes have to go up. He should be closer to maybe 30, 32, 33 minutes, but it is very possible. So those things happen, man. Patrick Williams can break out, still very young, still has all the potential in the world, and this is a make it or break it year. Because this year, Patrick Williams has to play for his contract. If he does not earn an extension, he's not going to get one. And the Bulls brought in Torrey Craig. Patrick Williams should know that his starting job is on the line because Torrey Craig could be starting at the 4 instead of PWill. So he's got all the motivation in the world. Let's just hope he goes and utilizes that. Let me know what you guys think, man. PWill, is he breaking out this year or not? Leave a comment down below. I hope he is. And I told you what he needs to do. Let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks.